everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to learn about something super important in Python, the while loop. Well, this side Rajlakshmi Singham. And if you're just starting out, don't worry, I'll walk you through step by step in a way that makes it super easy to understand. So let's jump in. So, what's exactly a while loop? A while loop in Python allows you to repeat a block of code as long as the condition is true. Think of it like it's like saying keep doing this task until the condition is no longer true. Like, for example, imagine you're drinking water from a bottle and you'll keep sipping while the bottle is not empty. So once it's empty, you stop. So that's how a while loop works. So here's the basic syntax of while. So it's like while condition, then this while condition is true, then this block of code will be repeated until the condition is true. Once the condition is false, then it will directly come out of the loop. So the loop actually checks the condition first, and if the condition is true, it runs the block of code. If the condition is false, then it stops right there. Okay, let's write a simple counter as an example. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a counter variable and assign a value 0. And while counter less than 5, I will just print counter counter, and then I will directly increment counter equal to counter plus 1. Okay. So if you observe counter equal to 0, I created a variable called counter, and while counter is less than 5, so when the value of counter is less than 5, I want the computer to print the value of counter and then increase the counter plus 1 for every loop. Okay, let's check it. So at first the counter value is 0. Okay. And now the counter less than 5. So 0 less than 5, true. So then it will directly print the counter value as 0. And now the counter value became counter equal to counter plus 1. 0 plus 1 will be 1. So now the value of counter will be 1 here. So 1 less than 5, true. Then it will directly print 1. Okay. And then now here the value 1 plus 1 will be 2. Again, the computer jumps here and checks now the counter value is 2. 2 less than 5, true. Then it will directly print the counter value as 2. And now again it increments the counter by 1, increases the value by 1. That means 2 plus 1, 3. Now again the computer goes here, 3 less than 5, true. Then it will directly do counter value as 3. And now the counter 3 plus 1 is 4. Is 4 less than 5, true. Then again the counter comes here and it will print the value of counter as 4. And then now the counter value is 4 plus 1, which is 5. And 5 less than 5. Are you guys listening to me? Is 5 less than 5? No. Then the condition is false. Then it will come out of the loop. So the value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 will be printed as output. So this is how while loop exactly works. Let's check. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You got me? So here we start with counter value 0, and then the condition says while counter less than 5. That means as long as the counter is less than 5, it will print the value and then increase it by 1. And the moment counter reaches 5, the loop stops. So this is how you will see the printed numbers from 0 to 4. Simple, right? So this is how it works. And also, if you observe counter equal to counter plus 1, so there is a short form of this. So you can also write counter plus equal to 1. So it is same as this. Counter plus equal to 1 is same as counter equal to counter plus 1. Instead of writing the variable twice, you're writing it just once. By just adding it plus equal to 1, you're saying to the computer that counter equal to counter plus 1. It's a short form notation. It's easy even when you're coding. So that is why. But there is something you need to be careful about, which is infinite loops. What if the condition never becomes false? It's always true. Then your loop will run forever. So always make sure your loop has a way to stop, like updating a variable inside it. Like for example, if you see here, counter equal to 0. And then I'm not doing anything. So as long as the while counter equal to 0, the counter prints. Let's see what happens. See, it's keep on going. The loop is keep on ending. The task is keep on loading. So this is really a bad way to write a program. So always update the tasks whenever you are changing the condition. So keep the condition clear and easy to understand, and at the same time, when you are tracking it, when you're tracing it, make sure that loop is not infinite. Not in the small programs, you might feel it okay, you can do it, but in the long run, when you're giving a very big logic to a very big applications, when you're dealing with complex applications, and at the time when you give this infinite loop, then it's gonna kill the entire application by just, printing the output again and again and again that you don't even want to. So always trace it, trace the loops, whatever it is, keep the pen and paper with you, trace it, first do it yourself. Think like a computer. Computer is really dumb. You have to tell it each and every step to understand, to make it understand. So that is why I tell you, please keep pen and paper. So always be aware of these infinite loops. I can give you one more example. Like for example, while, just give true here, and if counter equal to if counter equal to 5, break. Then print counter and also increment counter plus equal to 1. So here, if you see, whenever you give the condition true, then it is going to take it as infinite loop, right? Because while true will be running, keep on running. But look at the magic of this break statement. Now let's check. Let's run it. Let's trace it first. So counter value initially 0. And now if counter equal to 5, no, it is false. So it will skip this step, entire step, and it will print here the value of counter 0 in the beginning. Okay. And now the value of counter is counter plus 1. 0 plus 1 is nothing but 1. Okay. And now while it is true, yes, it is always true. So here also it will be true. If 1 equal to 5, then again this condition is false. So this entire statement will be skipped. And now it will print the value of counter as what? 1. And now the counter is incremented from 1 to 2 because 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Now the counter value is 2. And again, while true, yes. And if 2 equal to 5, false, this condition is false, entire statement is skipped, and it will just print the counter value as 2. And now the counter value, 2 plus 1, is nothing but 3. So while true, yes, if counter, that means 3 equal to 5, false. So it will directly print the value 3. Now the counter value is what? 3 plus 1 equal to 4. Okay. Again, while true, yes. If counter, that means 4 equal to 5, no, false. So it will directly go here and it will print 4. Now the counter value is 4 plus 1, which is 5. And while true, if 5 equal to 5, listen to this. If 5 equal to 5, yes, this is true. Then it will directly come out of this loop. It will directly break this entire loop. And the output will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the beauty of this break statement. So though the entire loop is infinite, it just braked as soon as it met the condition. So the moment counter becomes 5, we break out of the loop. Let's run this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the output that we got. And also let's see the beauty of continuous statement. So counter equal to 0 while counter, let's change the logic a bit. So while counter less than 0, counter plus equal to 1. If counter then hit continue, print counter. So let's trace this also. What's happening here? If possible, you can pause this video at this moment, take a pen and paper and write yourself. Anyway, we are going to do it once again. So counter equal to 0 at once. So while counter less than, I have to give it 5 here. While counter less than 5. 0 less than 5, true. So now the value of counter will be 0 plus 1, which is 1. And now the counter value is 1. So 1 mod 2 equal to 0? No. So this condition is false. So it will directly come here and it will print the value of counter as 1. Okay, again, now it goes here. Now the counter value is 1. 1 less than 5, true. So counter value becomes counter plus 1, which is 2. 2 mod 2 equal to 0, true. So then it will just skip this entire instructions, this entire thing, and then again it jumps here. Now the counter value is 2. Like basically we are skipping printing the counter when it is an even number. So that is what we are doing. So it will skip this entire. Now the counter value is 2. 2 is less than 5. True. Now the counter value becomes 3. 3 mod 2 equal to 0. False. Then it will print the counter value as 3. And again, now if you go here, now the counter value is 3. 3 less than 5. True. Counter plus equal to 1. So now the counter value will be 4. And 4 mod 2 equal to 0, which is true. So then this entire condition will be skipped. Entire steps will be skipped. And now the counter goes here. The counter value is 4. So 4 less than 5 is true. So the counter plus equal to 1. That means the counter value will be 5. So if 5 mod 2 equal to 0, false, then it will print the value 5. And again, now it goes here. Now the counter value is 6. 6 less than 5? No, it's false. So it will come out of the loop and it will print the output as 1, 3 and 5. So this is the output 1, 3, 5. So whenever the counter is an even number, it just skips printing it. So the output will only show the odd numbers, which is 1, 3 and 5. So that's the beauty of continue. And here is a fun one because you can even add an else block to a while loop. So once this condition becomes false, then it will directly go to the else block and runs the loop has ended or whatever the message that you want user to see it. Like let's do one more example. So while counter less than 5, so print counter and increment counter plus equal to 1, and then you can add else part and you can print saying that the while loop has ended. Okay, let's try. So the counter value, as soon as it reaches 5, it just have to come out of this loop and it will print the entire message to the user. So it will just print 0 to 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will say that the while loop has ended, which is nice and clean. Even user will understand that, okay, the loop came to an end. So it's not mandatory to use else part because most of the time we don't use else part. But in case if you need it, in case if you need to do it, then you can use it. So there's an option that you can choose. So final wrap up. So here we worked with while loop in Python. So we use a while loop when you want to repeat the code as long as the condition is true. And also be careful with the infinite loop. And also always use break to exit early and also continue to skip certain steps. And don't forget, you can even use else with the while loop, something like this. All right, friends, that's it for today's lesson on while loops in Python. If this video made loops a little less scary for you, then I'd love for you to join our little coding family. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and ring the bell icon so you don't miss the next one. Remember, learning to code is like running a loop. You just keep practicing until you succeed. See you in the next one. Happy coding.